Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy! Welcome back to more Pokemon Platinum! Last time, we visited Professor Oak at his home away from home in Eterna City. I would say this isn't exactly the most premier spot in Sinnoh that I would want to live in, but considering that his hometown is, monochromatic, I think I can see why he'd think anything other than that would be good. And we also fought Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, capturing all of them, this time. Well, okay, this one's a little bit weird. I probably should have technically talked about this before, but yeah, I think I will now. Eterna City is the spot of the Explorer Kid going underground for the first time. Orberg City is where you would go to resurrect those fossils that you would get in the underground. Now that we are in the aftergame and have the National Dex, some new fossil Pokemon have become available if you want to go and dig for them. These fossils can all be found in every version of the 4th generation after you've obtained the National Dex. They are all incredibly rare though, so if you could transfer them in from another game, I'd recommend doing that first. They are the Helix fossil, which, as I'm sure everyone knows at this point, is resurrected into Almanite. I'm not going to be giving these all bios because there's quite a few of them right in a row, and again, they do come in very late, so they can't exactly be team members unless you do a lot of grinding. So, similar to the Swarm encounters and everything else, I'm just going to be mentioning them by name. There's also the Dome fossil, which is resurrected into Kabuto, the Claw fossil, which becomes Anorith, the Root fossil, which becomes Lileep, and the Old Amber, which becomes Aerodactyl. With those guys acknowledged and our little detour in Orberg City finished, on to our next destination, Hearthome City. There's not a whole lot to go over here, actually. We already did Pokemon contests, we already went over most of the accessories and all that stuff. There are some new accessories that you can find in Amity Square by bringing some Pokemon in with you that are part of the National Dex. But the big thing that I want to discuss is this guy in the green beret. Mr. Goods. That's Mr. E-Goods. Thank you very much. You can't leave out the pun that is your name. So he seeks rarities, and if you talk to him after accomplishing various things, in your adventure, he will give you some items. Yeah! You've conquered all the gyms, have you? For a trainer like you, I have just the thing. A gym statue. You know those statues that are like, so-and-so Pokemon gym leader, what's his face? Winning trainers, Barry, but not you. Yeah, that's what that is. You can get that for your secret base. There's other things that you can do with this guy. I don't personally think I'm going to be getting them all because some of them are incredibly time-consuming and very difficult. But we will be back later just to see which ones we happen to get and go over the remaining ones at that point, just in case I'm somehow able to obtain more of these things. If you want to obtain every single item that Mr. E-Goods can give you, good luck. That is really my best tip for you. I have obtained every item that he can give you in my Diamond playthrough, which, if anything, is nothing but a testament to how much time I had alone in high school. And that's not exactly the most exciting after-game content. Unfortunately, it's not about to get much better. Nothing ever happens in this backwater town, so they have nothing new for us. Veilstone City has nothing new for us. Nothing ever happens in this backwater town, so there's not anything there for us. Wait, okay. Nothing happens in this backwater town, but things do happen in the Great Marsh. There are several new encounters that you can find in the Great Marsh as of this point. I'll show on screen what they are right now, because similar to the Poke Radar and the Swarm encounters, there would be a lot to go over, and we'd be here for a while. Here they are. And nothing ever happens in that backwater town either. Okay, no. Celestic Town has something interesting for us, but we're going to be saving it for later, because it doesn't take us just to Celestic Town, it's going to take us to some other areas, so I wanted to save it when we were naturally going to visit that location too. So that means our next destination is Canalave City. Here we have quite a lot to talk about, actually. Even though you already had all the lore of the Canalave Library and the awesomeness that was Byron and the great music that I'm ruining with my bicycle, because I'm a darn youngster who's impatient, there is still some new things here for us to see that are really interesting. They give you a lot of bang for your buck. If you go to the sailor's house, we talk to these people. I never thought our boy would fall into this endless nightmare. It's happened in the past at Canalave. There were people who never woke up from their nightmares. That is, until they were awoken with something called the Lunar Wing. My husband went to find a Lunar Wing on Full Moon Island, but he failed. Does that mean he passed away, actually? Does it take a trainer to do that? I feel so frustrated by this. The little boy is thrashing about in his sleep. He appears to be in torment. He is muttering something. Dark is watching me. Incredibly disturbing, to say the least, to this very tranquil atmosphere. Yes, I will go to Full Moon Island. And I guess this is the dad, so never mind. I was making things a lot more dark than they actually were. If he really did die getting there, that would be even worse. Only you can awaken my son from his awful nightmare. Please, I need the lunar wing from Full Moon Island to awaken him. I went, but I failed to find it. Anchors away! And now I know what away means, so I'm not going to question you like some landlubber idiot. Welcome to Full Moon Island! Just when I thought I wouldn't hear this song again, it sure is used a lot. The Pokémon flew off somewhere. There is something sparkling where the Pokémon once was. We obtained the Lunar Wing! You'd have to be downright lazy to not even bother looking down the one walkway on this entire island. Maybe I was just the one who was judged as worthy and all that crap. Yeah, the Pokemon you met was the Lunar Pokemon. I've heard tales of it flying from place to place throughout Sinnoh. Look at our bottom screen! And look at what he's saying! You know what that means? Yet another roamer, because 4 of them was not enough. Yes, we got the Lunar Wing. That'll make my son wake from the nightmare. Let's go back home. You might be saying, wait, that's his hometown. It's not your hometown. You kidding me? After doing this for his son, he totally owes me his house. Let's talk to the mother. Oh, you're just telling me the same thing again. Oh, that is until they were woken up. Okay, yes, you're saying the same thing again. I thought for a moment there that she was actually changing what she said. No. I guess we have to hand it to him ourselves. Maybe he's thrashing about so much that he's punching his mom in the face every time she gets near to try to put it on him. Meow's lunar wing began to glow. The boy's sleeping face became untroubled and serene. The little boy woke up. Oh my gosh, you're awake! Oh, my son, I don't know what to say. Thank you, we'll never forget you. Seeing you back to normal makes me feel great. I've regained my spirit as a sailor. Come, sail with me later! I couldn't wake up. I saw it. It was a scary dream. It was a dark place. There was a dark Pokemon. But Daddy, Mommy, I could always hear your voices. Thank you. We can't thank you enough, but thank you! I actually really like that line. That's kind of unintentionally funny. At least I think it is. So, on to the real reward of this whole side quest, getting to fight yet another roaming legendary, because Platinum just loves cramming in as many as it can stuff into one region. Now, this gives me a chance to talk about what I usually do when handling roaming Pokemon. I wouldn't quite recommend handling them the way I've been doing in these videos. It's just that, for wanting to show the information in a video and go over a topic without it being interrupted, it just kind of made sense to fight Mesprit as soon as we could because we had to go and see it for our Pokedex and all that stuff. Same thing with Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. And that was 3 legendary Pokemon being fought in one video. It was already very long as it was. What I like to do is go and set off Mesprit, having it roam around the region, but don't go and try to catch it right away. Do the same for Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, and then do the same for this. With 5 roamers all running around the region, you are going to run into them all the time, and you're going to be very efficient in locating them all and weakening them. And since you're trying to catch 5 of them at once, you're able to just get it done a lot quicker, not have to go out into the field several times. It's just, in general, a lot more efficient of a process. And whenever I run into this dang thing, there is more to this tactic that I can tell you about. Finally, it's on the same route as me. What I was saying earlier, yeah, it really stands. Anytime you want to pop out at me, come on. Anytime. Anytime. If I take too long, it will transition to another route on its own. I can't afford for it to be taking this long. My repel wore off before I saw it even one time? Are you for real right now? Also, yeah, after beating the champion, you get another starter trainer card. But we went over that in an earlier video when we had Seth on, so come on. Where? Wait. It's level 50, isn't it? Shoot. Crud, I assumed it was level 60 because of Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, but no, now that I'm thinking about it, it is level 50. I can't use repels to force it to appear. Come on. Please have a regular battle theme? Okay, again, Bidoof just popping up at the most unexpected times and being funny at it. It does have a regular battle theme. I was remembering it correctly. Cresselia. Light shines brightest in the dark. It is one of the best special tanks out there, and you need look no further than its stats and ability to see that. It gets Moonlight at level 57, so it can even heal itself without the need for items. It has the signature move Lunar Dance, enabling it to sacrifice itself to fully heal HP, status, and PP of the next Pokemon that is sent out. This isn't really anything special in single player because you can just use items, but in multiplayer, it can turn the tides! Because it's the moon? Yeah? Okay. If Cresselia is at the end of its rope, you can sack it and bring back a crippled sweeper that got paralyzed earlier in the match. You can heal a nearly depleted tank to get even more tankiness out of your team, or just something else on that level. The only negative aspects of Cresselia are that its level up moves kinda suck until it gets high up there in the levels in the 4th generation. The greatest example of this is that unless you use a TM, it doesn't learn Psychic until level 93. What? I don't get it either. But, I haven't done anything yet in this fight. That is because my general strategy is catch the first 4 roamers legit and use your Master Ball on the 5th. You should feel so lucky to have this used on you. Not that I think I'm going to need it later on. Now that the roamers are out of the way, nothing is going to seem that bad by comparison. We got Cresselia! The Master Ball actually matches it quite nicely, so maybe it was fate that this happened. On nights around the quarter moon, the aurora from its tail extends and undulates beautifully. Though that might be a great victory that legendary Pokemon took me about 1/2400th of what it took me to get the other ones that we were fighting last time, we're not done here. There is more to what we can do in Canalave City. And I gotta say, what is Hearthome City's excuse? It's, what, the hub of Sinnoh? Same with Jubilife. Either of them could be argued as being the hub of Sinnoh. And some little nobody, literally backwater town like Canalave City goes and just triumphs over the meager after-game offerings that you have for us? Okay. In Canalave City, to the north is the Harbor Inn. This door is forever locked. You can't do anything about it, unless you have an event from a while ago. This event would grant you the item, the Member's Card. This would allow you to check in to the sorriest hotel in the entire Sinnoh region. It has 1 bed in it, no front desk, no lobby, no amenities, nothing. Why would you ever want to stay here? By doing this, it will allow you to fight a Pokemon that you cannot fight otherwise. But before we go onward, this is how I'm going to be covering any sort of events in the aftergame. A lot of people have been asking about this, and even though you can technically hack that item into your inventory, having the item on its own won't do it. You need to have the Wonder Card data as well, or else the item will do nothing. You can technically modify your save file to do this, but I personally didn't want to mess around with that. I'm doing this legit on an actual cartridge of Pokemon Platinum, and I wouldn't want to risk messing up the only save file that I have and doing something wrong, so I didn't want to do that. If you want to do it, go right ahead, but I am going to be covering them, just not by actually playing them. Wanted to get that out of the way. By staying at the Harbor Inn and sleeping in the bed, you too will succumb to the darkness just as that young boy did. You will go to New Moon Island, just across from Full Moon Island, and you will fight against the source of the nightmares in this world, Darkrai. Darkrai. is one of my personal favorite legendary Pokemon of all time. Though it is getting a little bit tiresome how he's the main bad guy in every single Pokemon spin-off game since his introduction. I swear it's like he's the new Mewtwo or something. But anyway, pure Dark type is fun. Darkrai is a powerful special attacker and it learns many great moves such as Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, and who could forget its signature move of Dark Void. 80% accurate sleep and it hits both opponents in double battles. It is second only to Spore in being the most effective sleeping move in the game. And heck, if you want to argue, in double battles it's technically more effective because it's going to hit both enemies. Its signature ability makes Dark Void even more effective, causing the opponent to lose HP every turn they are just on the field with it and asleep. A fond memory that I have about Darkrai, though, is that the initial Darkrai distributions were not by giving out the members key to people to let them go catch their own. Instead, they just merely gave you a Darkrai in a Cherish Ball, and it had the moves Roar of Time and Spatial Rend. That thing was a Dragon Slayer among everything else that you've seen here. It was incredibly powerful, and it was one of the most fond memories I have battling in Ubers long ago. That is everything dealing with Darkrai, but there is one more detail about this event that I need to talk about, because I believe it is one of the most overlooked details in all of Pokemon. The Harbor Inn is a haunted building. It shut down very long ago. These are apparitions that you're seeing inside of it. You enter the dreamlike state and all that stuff. If you look at the member card's item description, it says that the last date marked on it was 50 years ago. If you look at the official artwork for the member's card, the date on it is December 1st, 1959. The member's card was first distributed in Japan on December 1st, 2009. Exactly 50 years later than that date. That's just darn right cool. It shows how much meticulous detail and thought goes into these games. If they have that in the official artwork down to the exact day 50 years ago. It's just so nice. I love that detail, and I never see anyone talk about it because this event is a little bit remote. Anyway, though. With all that gone over, I know that there was a little bit more standing around than usual because a lot of things needed explanation and I couldn't exactly show everything. But we have revisited Orberg, we revisited Hearthome, we shamelessly skipped over 4 towns, but we came to Canalave and we fought one legendary Pokemon, but we talked about fighting another. That's a lot of info, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna end things off here. Next time on Pokemon Platinum, we are gonna do what else? But continue onward in our second exploration through the Sinnoh region. See you guys then.